help us out for school.
Okay.
That's just my thinking. Why would they want to come all that way and not be with their team?
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thinking. So why would you want to come 9 hours, 10 hours away or whatever, and not be participating with your own, and actually have to work?
Yeah, well, I'll do that in just a moment. But anyway, while we have a moment, hello everybody. Sorry for the introduction that didn't go as planned, but here from Salisbury High School here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, it is your DJ Crazy Tom. Of course, you just heard the voice of Rick Schmidt, the public and stats guy for the Lehigh Valley Storm, as we're bringing you the 2013 Gridiron Developmental Football League Quarterfinals, the Extreme Divisional Playoff round between the visiting Northeast Ohio Silverbacks from Akron, Ohio, yet the same town as LeBron James, and the Lehigh Valley Storm. Now, this is a pretty interesting matchup because we've heard a lot about the Silverbacks this year. The Silverbacks come in with a 7-4 record, while the Storm, they're 9-2, of course, coming off that 42-14 win over the Fayetteville Horizon last week. Meanwhile, the Silverbacks have been on a bit of a big ride here because they outlasted a then big-time program, the Columbus Gladiators, and the Silverbacks won by a count of 12-0 in Columbus to advance to this quarterfinal round. Of course, the winner plays in the conference championship game next Saturday. Of course, the place to be determined, we'll say. And it's going to be a very interesting, we'll say, evening next Saturday. Now, I don't know if it'll be here or somewhere else, but we'll find out later on tonight as to how things go. But this is a good Silverback team. They're going to be dressed in purple uniforms while the Storm will be in their home black. Now, you have to remember that the Silverbacks, of course, won the third round against the Gladiators. And remember, the Gladiators from Columbus, they won both meetings against the Silverbacks during the regular season. But the point differential between those two games are only 9 points. Now, the Silverbacks have made this 5 or so hour trip east to play the Lehigh Valley Storm. And this is another rookie organization. Overall, the Silverbacks had a 5-4 regular season. And just to give you a very quick idea on them, they're a defensive-minded squad who only surrendered 74 points over their schedule. They had 3 shutouts. The Storm, of course, yielded 76 points, and I think 42 of those came from the Central Penn Piranha. The Silverbacks were 2-1 against common opponents to the Storm. They beat the Pittsburgh Voltage twice and lost to the Electric City Chargers. They advanced over the Florida Falcons in the opening round of the playoffs, and, of course, won their big game over Columbus last week. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, of course, because I wouldn't suspect there to be too many things happening, so you never know. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my opening and stuff, if I can find where it is. Here it is. Hey, folks, real quick. Ooh, just dropped something. If there is anyone who's able to keep time today for this contest, will you please come to the press box area? Or do we have one? We also need some people for the chain gang, too, if they're available. Once again, 2 people for the chain gang, if available. If they can assist in any way possible, we'd certainly appreciate it. I do not have any wraps by that person, by the way, so. Huh? 2 chains.
Oh, okay.
All right, bring me the opening. That's a little more like it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Salisbury High School here in Allentown. It's your DJ Crazy Tom bringing you the 2013 Gridiron Developmental Football League matchup between the visiting Northeast Ohio Silverbacks and the Lehigh Valley Storm. Certainly this is going to be a great matchup between 2 teams. The Silverbacks 7-4, the Storm 9-2. The Silverbacks advanced, defeating the Florida Falcons in round 1, and last week posting a 12-0 win over the Columbus Gladiators, who were previously unbeaten. The Storm last week won by a count of 42-14 over the Fayetteville Horizon. Of course, these 2 teams meet tonight, and the winner plays in the Extreme Conference Championship game next week. We also want to extend a special welcome to our friends from the Akron and Northeast Ohio areas. We thank you all for coming and appreciate it very much. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure we're going to have a heck of a football game for tonight. You probably know what's next per what you're seeing on the field. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will everyone please rise? Gentlemen, please remove your hats. And please direct your attention to the flagpole, of course, on the school side of the field. And let's remind you, as while we're here, of course, the players who play this game and the fans who support this, that none of this would be possible without the people who continue to serve our country here in the 50 states and around the world. Those people are our troops. If there are any veterans here in this audience today, please salute. We thank you as always for your service to our country, and please never forget all those who gave their lives in keeping this country the free one that it is today. Now please join us in a brief invocation. Dear God in heaven, we thank you for this glorious day and two wonderful teams that are about to set foot on this field. Please bless all the players that they play to the best of their ability and in higher expectation than ever expected, and that they all show the best in sportsmanship amongst every play. Bless all of our fans that they also enjoy themselves as well. We know that without you, Lord, nothing would be possible. And considering the turmoil going halfway around the world, we raise a huge price and importance on humanity. So regardless to how this score comes out today, may we all share in that humanity when the game is over and have safe travel wherever we may be headed this evening. But most importantly in this contest, may nobody be hurt. We pray for this and for all things, as always, in Jesus' name, amen. If you'll please remain standing as we continue to honor America, we now bring you our national anthem. It's almost time. The Lehigh Valley Storm and the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks. Oh, we got a good one for you. Hang on tight. We'll be underway in just a couple of minutes. Well, obviously, got a little bit of a mess on our hands considering... I'm we're getting crowded in here very quickly here as we just got done our ceremonies for our contest with the Lehigh Valley Storm and the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks. Bob Kohler, the head coach of the Storm, and Kevin Fitch, the head coach of the Silverbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach for the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks is Kevin Fitch, and for the Lehigh Valley Storm, Bob Kohler. The Storm, of course, will be in their black uniforms with the white numerals, and the Silverbacks in their purple uniforms and silver numerals.
That's how you started.
So both teams meeting at the midfield stripe right now. Trying to get all my game notes together. Get ourselves rolling here. What will be quarterfinal time between the Storm and the Silverbacks.
Just follow everything the guy in the white hat.
Right.
Go over a couple things.
We got a replacement timekeeper here for this contest as well. They've already flipped the coin, and looks like the Silverbacks have won the toss. No, the Storm won the toss, actually.
We stop. We bring it back in. We
Folks, the Lehigh Valley Storm have won the toss. They refused the second half, so receiving the football will be the Silverbacks to begin today's contest.
Well, I know.
By the way,
I never did
today's officials in this game, the referee is Tom Widzinski, the umpire Mike Sarah, head linesman Tom McGowan, field judge Marty Boyer, side judge Jerry McGoggle, and the other judge Chuck Ferry. Let's wish both teams the best of luck, and as they say here in the Lehigh Valley, let's go! So we're trying to get everything all sorted out here as we get to this final countdown to today's Lehigh Valley Storm Northeast Ohio Silverback contest. The Lehigh Valley Storm, of course, in home black uniforms, white numerals, black helmets, while the Silverbacks are in their purple uniforms, silver numerals, and I believe purple helmets to go with that. They also have black pants to go with that. They're out of Akron, Ohio, the same, as I said, the same town as LeBron James. Yes, we're wishing that he come back to Cleveland and win a championship with them, but you know that'll never happen. Waiting for one of the other officials to show up here. And we'll be underway in just a couple of moments. We're ready?
Referee, what is that?
I have no idea. Boy, I hope we have some very excited people. If that is so, let's get some noise in this place! Again, the Storm to kick off to begin today's contest. And there are three people that are back for the Silverbacks. I'll get the name right. I got to take off my hat because that's what stopped my my brain operation.
Yeah.
Bobby Eppelman will kick this thing off for the Storm. It looks like it'll be Tony Perrine. We know Tony Perrine and Carlos Alexander are back for the Silvermen. Or the Silverbacks, rather. I'll get it right. And that's why you always have to be ready at any moment here. And unfortunately, when everything goes awry, you never get anything going. Okay, we're waiting for the official to blow his whistle.
So soon as the ball is caught, I start the clock, right?
Well,
okay.
And if it's a touchback, you just leave it go.
yeah, well...
Let it run? No. Don't start at all. Okay. I'm trying to help out. I never did it before. I do.
Well, hey, I'm sure you'll do fine. All right, the referee blows his whistle. Eppelman now works his way backward, waiting for the lights to come on. And a nice crowd gathering here at Salisbury High School as Eppelman is ready to approach the tee. He makes his small approach, and here we go! High and end-over-end kick. Tony Perrine will catch a 2-yard steep and run around the far side, crossing the 10. He'll run to about the 20. Has a hole, look out to the 30, over to the 40, and steps out of bounds right there. Good return by Tony Perrine, who was able to run to the far side. Right. Get a nice, stop the clock.
Okay, I got it.
There you go. Okay. That was Tony Perrine on the return, and a nice return to begin things.
As soon as the ref right.
They say he stepped out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
As soon as the ball hiked, I started up, right?
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Silverbacks. And the Silverbacks, of course, and the silver about them is their numerals are in purple. We're waiting to see who comes out. Last second substitution in Jamar Singleton trying to get the first play of the game going. And now we start the clock. Silverbacks start 1st and 10 for their own 35-yard line. All right, so from the 35, 1st and 10. I'm trying to see who the quarterback is here for them. Under center with an I formation. Here's the snap. And that's number 15 who's going to roll out and throw to the right, and the pass is caught. And that is Kevin Stickland, who will get across the midfield stripe and into Storm territory for a 20-yard gain to the 45. That pass caught by Kevin Stickland. Looks like Ryan Boyer's the quarterback for the Silverbacks. But a good play and a 20-yard pickup. First down for Northeast Ohio at the Storm 45-yard line. And they're going to go in a little bit of a hurry-up offense as well. So Boyer will be he'll be under center. Here's a handoff up the middle. Oh, good tackle by Joe Davis, who brings down their running back, Antoine Miller, at the 46.
Coach.
That was Antoine Miller on the carry, brought down by Joe Davis.
Donald missed the block.
That's a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11 for the Silverbacks at the Storm 46. So 2nd and 11 now. They snap, and there's a Boyer throwing a pass, and it's a one-hopper incomplete. Good pressure that time by Keenan Walls breaking down the coverage. That pass was incomplete. Good rush by Keenan Walls. Broke down the offensive wall.
Coach.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 now for the 46.
The line is too tight.
3rd and 11 for the Silverbacks. They're at the Storm 46-yard line. See, I didn't even know Ryan Boyer was listed as a wide receiver, but he was quarterback on that first play. I thought it was Apollo Pegwas. But anyway, Boyer is under center in I formation. 3rd and 11 from the 46. Takes the snap. He's going to roll left. In trouble. Down he goes. Run over by Tyler Alpha. Oh, Alpha Cadabra. 7-yard loss. And it's a Storm sack by Tyler Alpha for a 7-yard loss.
Clock still run, right?
Yes. So the drive is stopped, and it'll be 4th down for the Silverbacks. Back to return to punt, Rodney Gilmore. Now, I'm not sure. It looks like it'll be Rodrigo Stamps the punt. Looks like it'll be Rodrigo Stamps the punt for the Silverbacks. We'll see what Rodney Gilmore does. Here's a snap. A very short punt. They're going to let it bounce. And it does take a Silverback bounce, goes inside the 20, and rolls further, 15, down to about the 13-yard line. Turns out a nice bounce for the Silverbacks, and the Storm are going to start deep in their own territory. The punt by Stamps got a nice Silverback bounce and is down to the 13-yard line. That's where the Storm will start, 1st and 10. Quarterbacking for the Storm, number 10, Jimmy LaHue. So already the first drive for the Silverbacks. They got a nice 20-yard play to start things off, but then all of a sudden the Storm defense broke down some walls and forced the Silverbacks to punt. So here we go. Jimmy LaHue with 1st and 10 now. In the shotgun, they'll take the snap. Here's a handoff, bouncing Sean Mayer. Tries to go wide right. He'll get to the 15. Has a nice hole and gets pushed out of bounds to the 20-yard line. Nice job by Apollo Pegwas to shut him down. That was Sean Mayers on the carry for a 7-yard pickup to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3, Storm at the 20. Okay, here's Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun on 2nd and 3 in the pistolero. Pitch at the Mares, this time reversing direction to the left. He will cross the 20, breaks a tackle, and goes down to the 25-26 yard line before being brought down by Jamar Singleton. Sean Mayers again with a carry to the 26, brought down by Jamar Singleton. Pickup of 6, we move the chains, it's first down for the Storm. Spot the ball, will say the 27-yard line. And the shotgun is LeHue taking the snap. Another hand off the Mares. He'll try and bounce around right. He tries to juke cross the 30 down to the 31 before being tackled very nicely. That looks like Roland Jackson.
I ain't been putting the ball thing on that. I don't know how to do it.
That's what I wouldn't worry about it. Go fast. That was Sean Mayers again on the carry. This time brought down by Roland Jackson at the 31 for a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6, Storm at their own 31. And again, LeHue in the shotgun formation. Again, we're looking 3 wide slot left this time. Now moving over position is Agaman Moore, who we called. He's going to get the end-around carry. Runs into his own man. Goes right back up, and he's going to be tackled down for about a 6-yard loss. Moore ran right into his own man and fell right down. The end-around by Agaman Moore did not work, as he ends up losing 6 on the play. 3rd and 12 for the Storm at their own 25-yard line. And this time they'll line up in a, looks like a 4-receiver set. Mayers a single set back to the right of LeHue. And now, there's our first yellow of the day. And we have a flag down. Somebody jumped. It's just a matter of who. The officials will convene. It looked like the Silverbacks had jumped first on the right side of their defensive line. The officials will say, were they drawn off? But it looks like by the Silverbacks' reaction, it's going to be on the Storm. A neutral zone infraction on the Silverbacks. So that's a 5-yard penalty. And it will now be 3rd and 7 for the Storm at the 30-yard line. And once again, LeHue in the shotgun formation, 3rd and 7. Oh, maybe another jump, another one. Up. Let's repeat that. Flag down. Same thing again. Neutral zone infraction on the Silverbacks. So now we've gone from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 2 for the Storm at the 35-yard line. So 2 consecutive encroachments. That's killer. All right, 3rd and 2 from the 35-yard line. LeHue in the shot. Go! Monotonous, isn't it? Flag down. This time a false start on the Storm, as Agaman Moore clearly moved from his position. I don't know if it was Moore, if it was Tennille Towns, whoever it was. 3rd and 7, Storm at their own 30. Let's see if we can get a play without a flag. LeHue is snapping the shotgun. He's back looking. He's got to throw one up the middle, and the pass is caught. And it's at the 45. Moving over to about the 49-yard line. Great catch by Neil Lister to move the chains and a gain of 18 yards. That was Neil Lister with the catch at the 48-yard line. We do have an injured Silverback on the play. Looks like Carlos Alexander. So while we have a moment, I'll remind you, of course, the Silverbacks 7-4 in the year, the Storm 9-2. The Storm, of course, they won over a team from Florida in the first round. Of course, they finished off the Columbus team last week, ending an unbeaten season for them. And, boy, this looks like a pretty bad injury here. I don't know how important Carlos Alexander is for their club, but so following that stoppage of play, it is first down for the Storm at their own 48-yard line. Well, he was able to hobble off the field, but we'll see how serious the injury is. At the last second, the Storm trying to get some personnel, and they're rushing in Terrell Mitchell. And the clock starts. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line after an 18-yard pass to Neil Lister. In the pistolero is Lehigh. They'll call the shotgun. 3 wide slot to the left this time. Now the man in motion is Thomas going to the right. It will be a handoff this time. Mayer has the juke and he's in trouble already. He's going to lose a couple of yards to the 46-yard line. And evidently, I see one of the defensive players for the Silverbacks, unfortunately needs a belt. That was Sean Mayers on the carry, but he lost 2 on the play. 2nd and 12 for the Storm at the 46-yard line. So now 2nd and 12 from the 46-yard line. Lehigh in the shotgun. They'll line up 4 receivers this time. Single setback is Mayers. Thomas in motion to the right. Showing blitz to the Silverbacks. Back goes Lehigh. Throws him. It's caught. And that is, it looks like Bromfield crossing the 40, 35, 34-yard line. No, it is DJ Bromfield. And that's going to move the chains as the Storm visit Silverback territory. That pass caught by DJ Bromfield into Silverback territory to 34 for a 20-yard gain and 1st down for the Storm. Spot the ball at the Silverback 34. So a 20-yard pickup on 2nd and 12, and I'll tell you what, Lehigh is looking pretty confident at this point in time getting protection. In the pistolero again. This time moving over is Mayers to the left on 1st and 10. They hand it to Bromfield. Bromfield has a nice hole crossing the 30, but that's all he's going to get that time. That was DJ Bromfield on the carry for another 4-yard pickup. And I got Limo calling me off the wall here. 2nd and 6. Storm at the Silverback 30-yard line. All right, so 2nd and 6 on the 30-yard line. This time in motion, Bromfield to the right. They will hand it off to Mayer. Mayers will run around, cross the 30, has a block. He'll stop, juke 25, sneaks through a hole and goes down to the 21-yard line. Another 9 yards and another chain mover. Sean Mayers again with a carry. Snuck through a couple of holes, diving to the 21-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup and 1st down for the Storm as we have timeout by the Silverbacks.
Because they're running inside, you're not staying home.
Let me call real fast here. We have a timeout by the Silverbacks. Okay, we resume play. It is 1st and 10 for the Storm at the Silverback 21-yard line. Well, it turns out that I will be doing a job after all in the morning in Blackwood. All right, 1st and 10 for the 21-yard line. Jimmy Lehigh in the shotgun formation. 4 receivers. Takes a snap. Fakes. He's going to throw a corner out left side. It is caught by Lister, but it's incomplete, out of bounds. That pass incomplete. Neil Lister intended, but he caught the ball out of bounds. 2nd and 10, Storm at the Silverback 21-yard line.
The linebacker is not really finding the ball, is it?
All right, so now 2nd and 10 now from the 21-yard line to Silverbacks. Lehigh in the shotgun. Pistolero again. Next to him is Bromfield. Behind him, Mayers. 3 wide slot to the left. Lehigh will hand it to Mayers. Has a hole this time, crossing the 20, and a nice tackle at the 18-yard line. Good penetration that time by Deshaun Stafford with the tackle. That was Sean Mayers again with the carry. Brought down by Deshaun Stafford. They'll say 2 on the play. 3rd and 8 for the Storm as they enter the red zone. They'll spy it outside the 18-yard line. And they will go 4 receivers once again. Jimmy Lehigh with Sean Mayers to his right in the shotgun. 4 receivers once more. Lehigh calling the signals. May have gotten the Silverbacks to jump. No, he got back. Here's a throw. And a pass nearly intercepted. That was intended for Sean Thomas. But he won one way, the ball won another, and it's incomplete. That pass incomplete, intended for Michael Thomas. It was Michael Thomas, that's Sean Thomas, that's for another team. And it looks like Bobby Eppelman will try a field goal from, we'll say, 35 yards out. So Eppelman's going to try from 35 yards. We'll see if it works. Let's see what happens here as they go from the right hash mark from 35. High snap. Flag down. Kick on its way. And the kick is good, but we have a flag down. So hold everything. Good 35-yard field goal. Let's see what the penalty's about. Now, if it's offside, what are they ruling? Oh, and another flag. What's going on here? What is going on here? We've got another flag while the official is making his call. And supposedly there were 12 men in the huddle against the Storm. So, no points yet. And head coach Bob Kohler wants to know what's going on here.
Coach.
They have ruled unsportsmanlike conduct on the Storm, fouling an illegal substitution foul also on the Storm. So that takes the 3 points off the board and now forces the Storm to punt. Wow. And I don't understand why the coach, I don't understand why that was a quick flag, because I think he had a right to an explanation there. Yeah. Edelman instead will be punting. Back is Tony Perrine for the Silverbacks. Wow. Took a 35-yard field goal off the boards, and on top of which, 20 yards in penalties. Yep. And now the Storm want a timeout. And now we have timeout by the Storm, their first of this half. Wow, Bob Kohler is hot here.
I'm fucking inside. This doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't work? Did you try the top one?
No problem. There's one right there?
There might be back there, yeah. But you're going to need an extension cord, though. Maybe you just need to be charged up.
Yeah.
Might be able to help you. Let's see if that works. Alright, yeah, the light's on. It should be alright. Well, Bob Kohler, the head coach of the Lehigh Valley Storm, very upset. 12 men in the huddle during the field goal kick. And then unsportsmanlike conduct, just as the official was about to make the 12-man call. And because of that, that's a 5-yard penalty and a 15-yarder on top of that. So, talk about the Storm penalizing their way out of a drive. There you go. So now Eppelman's going to punt with just under 6 minutes left in the first. What a tough break for the Storm. I really had no idea that was going to happen. But Eppelman is standing at his own 47. Tony Perrine will be back to return. Here's the snap and a rush. And the punt's away. It's a pretty good one. We'll see if Perrine returns. There's a block. Now, it'll be down at about the 6-yard line. That's a smart play by the Storm. Michael Thomas was able to down it right there. And now the Silverbacks are going to have pretty deep start in their own territory. That punt was downed at the 7-yard line by Michael Thomas. That results in a 31-yard punt by Eppelman. And the Silverbacks get their second possession with just under 6 left in the first. 1st and 10 for Northeast Ohio from their own 7-yard line. So right now, the Lehigh Valley Storm they had a great opportunity to have the first points of the game, but instead, 20 yards in penalties, 12 men in the huddle, and then unsportsmanlike on top of that by their own head coach. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, in the shotgun now is Ryan Boyer on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff right side and breaking through a hole, crossing the 10, down to about the 12-yard line. That looks to be Antoine Miller. That was Antoine Miller on the carry to about the 13-yard line, a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 for the Silverbacks from the 13. And they line up at 4 receivers. Boyer hands this one off again and going up the middle. Not much at all being thrown down. Antoine Miller, who got him that time?
No.
Antoine Miller again on the carry, brought down by Keenan Walls for nothing. 3rd and 4, Silverbacks at the 13. Boy, everyone's going on no-huddle offense here. 4 receivers on 3rd and 4. Low snap by Boyer. He's going to roll around. He's going to try and run. He crosses the 10, across the 20, get a first down. Stay on his feet. Holy cow. He's still going. 40, midfield, down to the 43-yard line. That was almost like that Tampa Bay Buccaneer play from 20 years ago. Ryan Boyer with an exceptional play that would not go down, and he ends up in Storm territory at the 43-yard line. That's a heck of a play. A gain of 44, 1st and 10 for the Silverbacks at the Storm 43. And that is a huge momentum shift there. Boyer in the shotgun, single setback to the left. He's going to take it himself. No, I'm sorry, it's not Boyer that time. It is Tony Perrine on direct snap, and he gets to the 35 and a gain of 8. Tony Perrine on the direct snap to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2 for the Silverbacks from the Storm 35. And again, Perrine's going to line up in that shotgun. Running back to his left, 4 receivers this time, taking the snap, and now handoff to Miller. Miller has all 35, down to the 30, still will not go down until he finally does to the 29-yard line, out of bounds by Rodney Gilmore. That was Antoine Miller on the carry, brought down by Rodney Gilmore. Another 6 yards on the pickup, and another first down for the Silverbacks. Ball be spotted at the Storm 29-yard line. We're coming out to about 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Each team has had a drive, no score in the game. Although Appleman had a 35-yard field goal. That was good, but got called back by a 12-minute huddle penalty, and boy, that was killer. Here's a handoff up the middle. I think that's Perrine that time, and he is brought down maybe for a yard, maybe 2 at the 27-yard line. Or is that Miller again? I can't see.
Coach.
Antoine Miller again with a carry. Goes to about the 28 for a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 for the Silverbacks at the 28. And so with under 3 minutes left in the first, we'll see what Boyer decides to do here. Ryan Boyer, who's listed as a wide receiver, but he's quarterbacking here. 4 receivers, 3 to the left, single setback to the left of Boyer in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to roll left, looking, under pressure, reverses direction. Now in trouble. He's not going anywhere. Down he goes. Great stuff by the Storm defense. And it was Carl Kreidler who gets the 2nd Storm sack of the game. That is a Storm sack by Carl Kreidler. 3-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 12 for the Silverbacks, now at the Storm 31-yard line. So now 3rd and 12. We'll see what the Silverbacks have in mind. In the shotgun again, looks like it is Boyer. They're going to, wow, a 5-wide set, empty backfield, and 4 receivers on the left. Back goes Boyer. It's going to be a draw. Crossing the 30, he escapes 25, down to the 20. Let's see where they spot it. He's probably a yard short of a first down. Ryan Boyer keeps it himself, gets to the 20-yard line. He's about a yard shy of a first down. We'll see what they do on 4th and a yard from the Storm 20. Boy, this is going to be a big play already in this game. We're down to a minute and a half left in the first. Ryan Boyer. They line up with 4 receivers. Single setback to the right. 4th and a yard from the 20-yard line. Ryan Boyer in the shotgun. What will he do? He rolls. He's going to keep it himself. And I think he got it. We'll see where they spot it. Boy, it's going to be close. Ryan Boyer with the carry. We'll see where they spot this one. The chain gang will decide for itself. Ryan Boyer decided to keep it himself and lunge as far as he could for the first down. I'm not, it looks like from the spot of the ball, he may be half a yard short, but we'll see. We'll measure this one to see if the Silverbacks continue in the red zone or if they turn it over on downs. And they're short! The Storm stop them and the Silverbacks turn the ball over on downs. They'll have 1st and 10 right outside the 20-yard line. That's a huge defensive stop by the Storm, and I don't know if the officials gave them a good spot. The way that looked, it looked about half a yard short from my perspective here. But I'll tell you something. The Storm defense really did a number there. So back on comes Jimmy LeHue, 1st and 10, just outside the 20-yard line. So a major break. And the Silverbacks, they drove 73 yards on that drive, and they got 44 on like one big play, but could not convert. Here on 1st down, it's a pitch out to, it looks like Isaiah Green. No, it's Michael Thomas, I'm sorry. And he will bounce his way to the 22 and gets a couple out of that. That was Michael Thomas on the carry on the surprise lateral. Two-yard pickup, 2nd and 8 for the Storm at the 22. So again, the shotgun, Jimmy LeHue takes it. Handoff Mayer, has a haul, escapes the tackle 25. That's all he can muster. And it's a 3-yard pickup. That's a nice tackle. I can't see who got this one. That was Sean Mayers on the carry again for a 3-yard pickup, brought down by Apollo Peguis. Now on 3rd and 10, back goes, here's a pass intercepted by the Silverbacks. Bring it to about the 30 and down to about the 21-yard line as we've come to quarter time. And that pass intercepted by the Silverbacks. It looks like to be Matt Ogletree to grab that one. And the horn has sounded to reach quarter time here in Salisbury. No score between the Storm and the Silverbacks as quarter number 2 is about to get underway. Well, that's a bad pass by Jimmy LeHue. He had one receiver going right, and the ball went to the left. And there was Matt Ogletree to intercept it about the 33-yard line, return it to about the 21. That's a big, big play by the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks. They get stopped at the 20-yard line their last drive, but the Storm turn it over, and they'll get another opportunity now to try and get something going here as we begin the second quarter. So both teams are 2 possessions thus far. There's been a punt on each side. Remember, one of the big plays in this first quarter was a 35-yard field goal by Bobby Eppelman, which was good, but the Storm had 12 men on the field, and Kohler, the head coach, very upset, ended up getting a unsportsmanlike conduct foul tacked onto the penalty, which knocked him completely out of field goal range. That, I think, is the biggest play in this first quarter. Okay, we resume. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Silverbacks at the Storm 21-yard line. And we'll see what the defense can do here. As in the shotgun is Boyer. He will take the snap. He's running around under a bum rush. In trouble, and down he goes. Flattened at the 31-yard line. And that time, Jaron Elder runs him over. That is another Storm sack. This time, Jaron Elder for a 10-yard loss. So 2nd and 20 for the Silverbacks at the Storm 31. So now 2nd and 20 from the 31-yard line. We'll see what happens. A low snap and a handoff to Miller. Tries to run around left. And now flag goes down. He's not going to be able to get anywhere. He may have lost a yard. Antoine Miller to carry, but we have a flag down. We'll see what the official says. And I'm thinking, you know what? If it's on the Silverbacks for holding, I wouldn't be surprised if the Storm refuses this. Well, hey, you never know. Teams are different. I'm not sure how they operate. I'm just calling like I see it. We have an illegal substitution against the Silverbacks. That will be refused. And the play goes as a 2-yard loss. So it'll be 3rd and 22, and I don't mean Route 22. 3rd and 22 for the Silverbacks at the Storm 33. And remember, they started at the Storm 21-yard line after getting sacked for the 3rd time. A 10-yard loss. Jaron Elder picked up one. Big play coming up right here. Again, Boyer in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Single set back to the left. Low snap again. Let's see what happens. Here's a nowhere to go again, as it is Tyler Affa who is able to stop him for another 4-yard loss. Boyer trying to keep it himself, and it turns out Tyler Affa said, 4-yard loss. So 4th down for the Silverbacks. Stephen Lewis back to return for the Storm. And I just got a very sad text message that the Cowboys just lost 12-7 to Arizona. Well, hey, we're on our way to 3 and 13. What do you expect? As long as Napoleon Bonaparte's quarterback. Here's a snap and a almost vertical punt. Nobody better take this. It's got to take a neutral bounce and get down to about the 27-yard line. It was downed by Joshua Moore. That's a 10-yard punt. The punt did not go that far. Was downed at the 28-yard line for a 9-yard punt. While we have a second, we do have a preseason football final score. To my absolute dismay, Arizona 12, the Cowboys 7. Meanwhile, back to here. 1st and 10 for the Storm at their own 28-yard line. Well, hey, we're on our way to 3 and 13. Worst team in football. Doesn't matter who's a quarterback. Anyway, LeHue will hand this off to Bromfield. Bounces to the right. Well, all he does, crossing the 30 and pushes his way to about the 33-yard line. 5 yards, pretty hard yards. That was DJ Brumfield on the carry. A 5-yard pickup to the 33-yard line. 2nd and 5 for the Storm at the 33. And we'll see what LeHue does after. Hey, maybe the Cowboys can draft Jimmy LeHue. That would be nice. LeHue takes a snap. He'll throw it to left. And the pass again, almost intercepted. That was right under Matt Ogletree. And I don't know if he's related to Kevin Ogletree of the Cowboys, but the way this is going, he's playing for the wrong team. That pass incomplete. Nearest in coverage is Matt Ogletree.
Tell Tree to keep his mouth shut.
So 3rd and 5 for the Storm at their own 33-yard line. So 3rd and 5 from the 33. A snap and misdirection to Bromfield. Bromfield will try and get across the 35, and he gets very close to the 1st down to 38. We'll see where they spot the ball. That was DJ Brumfield on the carry. Gets to about the 38, and it's 1st down for the Storm. Boy, he got a fortuitous spot. Didn't look like it in this angle, but second effort did the job. 1st and 10 for the Storm, spy at their own 39-yard line. I was surprised by a spot by that, too. And now, wait a minute, we're going to have an official timeout. Got an official timeout. Hold on a sec. And we'll see how this one plays out. Don't forget, underneath the blue awning, we have refreshments being sold, some drinks and snacks, and even some Lehigh Valley Storm gear. They're at the blue awning at the midfield stripe. They'll be definitely near for halftime, too. Again, 1st and 10, Storm at their own 39-yard line. And we'll see what Jimmy LeHue does in the shotgun. 4 receivers, single setback is Brumfield, now in motion. And somebody jumped on the right, it's coming back. And somebody jumps for a flag down. Now, both teams have been a little bit undisciplined on their own respective lines. Remember, the Silverbacks had back-to-back neutral zone infractions. We'll see what the officials say here. Another neutral zone infraction against the Silverbacks. That's the third, or where they pulled off. It doesn't take much. It does not take much, and these officials are calling things very close in some cases and very loose on another. Now 1st and 5 for the Storm at the 44. So now 1st and 5 from the 44. Brumfield will line up in a pistolero. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. LeHue with the snap. And now delayed handle to Brumfield. But he runs right into 3 members of the Silverbacks and ends up losing 3 to the 41-yard line. That was DJ Brumfield on the carry. Ends up losing 3 to the 41. Second and 8 for the Storm at the 41-yard line. Let's see what LeHue does this time. He's got Towns going in motion. Now he reverses direction. Taking a snap. Back goes LeHue. Has some time. He's going to roll to his left. Buy a little time. And then just throw the ball away, which is the right thing to do, as the pocket had collapsed. That pass incomplete. Looked like Michael Thomas was the nearest receiver. It'll now be 3rd and 8 for the Storm at their own 41-yard line. Just over 9 minutes left in the first half. Still no score. LeHue in the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Takes the snap. Will have a little time. Looking. Sets in the pocket. It's his. He throws the ball and it is incomplete. Boy, he took a little shot. Agaman Moore, the intended receiver, but he hit. He was his. He threw the ball. No wonder it was short. That pass incomplete, intended for Agaman Moore. So it looks like the Storm will be punting. Well, as I suspected, we're looking at a defensive battle, and we're getting it. So Bobby Appleman will now punt for the Storm. And we'll see who returns it now for the Silverbacks here. He's got a good leg. And now flag goes down. Well, before the kick, we have a flag down. And it was thrown in the area where the Silverbacks are going to return the ball.
On the field.
Oh, is this going to be another one of those I can only count to 4 situations? Looks like it was 12 men on the field on the Silverbacks. It's a 5-yard penalty. It makes it still 4th and 3 for the Storm. So now the line of scrimmage at the 46 for the punt. Now they do that again. Boy, you'll be having a timekeeper screaming. Appleman to punt. It's a high snap. He grabs it, has time, and he will launch this one. Matt Ogletree, the nearest one, and bounces right into the the judge on the near side of the field, and now flag down again. While the kick was in the air, we have a flag down yet again. Now, I'd have to suspect probably a hold. We'll see. We have a personal foul on the Storm. Looks like a crackback. And that was while the kick was in the air and the ball was down at about the 18-yard line. And so they're going to spot it from where it was downed and then move 15 yards. So the Silverbacks are going to have really good field position, as this is the second time the Lehigh Valley Storm have been hit with a personal foul.
Have Carter stay off the field before we get flagged.
The ball went out of bounds at the 20, but following the Storm personal foul, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Silverbacks at their own 35-yard line. So 1st and 10, Silverbacks their own 35-yard line. And they'll line up with an I formation as Ryan Boyer gets back to work. He has done some wonderful things already in the first half. Here's an inside handoff, not going to be much that time. Back to the line of scrimmage. Not sure who was the carrier that time.
Tell Fish to get away from that.
That was Courtney Miller on the carry, but he didn't get anything. 2nd and 10 now for the Silverbacks at the 35. So again, the I formation. They tried to full back up the middle. That didn't quite work out that well. They have a receiver on each side. I formation. 2nd and 10 from the 35. Storm shown blitz. Boyer, hands off. And again, and it is, I think, Miller again. And for nothing. Again, Courtney Miller on the carry. And again for no gain.
Tell Fish the way they coming, he got to go play action.
It'll be 3rd and 10. Silverbacks are at their own 35. So right now, it looks like the Silverbacks are really up against it. 3rd and 10 from their own 35, and they're going to take their time to huddle. We're midway point through the second quarter. As you might suspect, two teams have not given up very many points this year, and that's why we have goose eggs gathering. No score. They'll line up again, the I formation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pass or if Boyer decides to try and pull off some magic as he did earlier in this half. Boyer takes the snap. He rolls to his right. Has some time. Now the pocket collapses and is in trouble. And down he goes! The second sack in the game for Jaron Elder for a loss of 2.
That's quarterback.
Another Storm sack. The second one by Jaron Elder. That's 4 Storm sacks in this first half. And this will mean a Silverbacks punt. Rodrigo stamps the punt. And Stephen Lewis to return for the Storm. So 3 and out go to Silverbacks this time. Last second substitution and Bud Brown coming in. We'll see if Stamps can get a good punt on. He had a 9-yard punt the last time. That wasn't a real stamp of approval. Coming up to 6 minutes left in the first half. Stamps, low snap, flags down all over the place. And the punt will go to Lewis, who fumbles it! And did the Silverbacks fall on it at the 36-yard line or did the Storm? We'll see. Did it bounce in the Storm's hands? It did. Oh, did the Storm get lucky? The Storm got really lucky. That punt was fumbled by Stephen Lewis, but luckily he was able to recover. Meanwhile, we have a flag down right at the snap. And we'll see how this one turns out here as the officials discuss. They may have to do this thing again. It's an illegal motion penalty against the Silverbacks. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty and pretend that fumbled return didn't even happen.
Come on, Steven, concentrate!
Lewis again back for the Storm as Stamps the punt on a 4th and 17. So the line of scrimmage at the 28-yard line. Stamps got a much nicer punt on that time, but he's going to have to do it again. Takes a snap. Another flag is down, and the punt is away. Lewis catches it at the 40-yard line. Let's see what he does. He's going to reverse direction and gets tackled at 41. It's a nice tackle in the playing field by Michael Taylor. Stephen Lewis on the return, brought down by Michael Taylor on a nice play. But guess what? Another flag down. And let's see what this is about. It's an illegal formation penalty on the Silverbacks. Not enough down the line of scrimmage. So I'm saying the third time will be the charm after a 5-yard penalty. So take 3 now from the 22-yard line on 4th and 22. And Stamps will punt again. Lewis will be standing from the midfield stripe. Stamps waits for it. Takes the snap this time. They're coming, but a much better punt, a high punt, and Lewis is just going to step away, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 33-yard line. Nice punt that time as it's down at the 34-yard line. A nice punt by Stamps, 43-yard punt, and the Storm will have it at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, with just over 5 minutes left in the first half. Remember, the winner of this game plays in the conference championship game next Saturday, of course. We'll have more information on that as we proceed tonight. So 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. And Jimmy LeHue is back in the shotgun formation. Sean Mayers standing to his left. It's going to be 3 receivers, slot to the right this time. LeHue on 1st and 10. Will hand off to Mayers. Has a hole, crossing to the 35, and goes down to about the 36, only a couple yards on the play. That was Sean Mayers on the carry for a 2-yard pickup. Brought down by Joshua Moore. So now 2nd and 8, Storm at the 36. Here we go, 2nd and 8 from the 36-yard line. LeHue in the shotgun. Single back behind him. LeHue's going to throw to the left, and it is incomplete. It was right there in the hands of Neil Lister, but a little high, and Lister had to stretch his arms out, could not come through with it. That pass incomplete, intended for Neil Lister. So 3rd and 8 for the Storm at the 36-yard line. We're coming down to 4:15 till halftime. I'm going to go ahead and turn some lights on. That's a lot better. We can see. 3rd and 8 from the 36 in the shotgun. LeHue, 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Single setback is Mayers. Takes the snap. LeHue with a little time. Throws deep up the middle, and it is incomplete. That was way high for Michael Thomas. And it looks like 3 and out for the Storm. That pass incomplete, intended for Michael Thomas. So the Storm will have to punt yet again. So 3 and out go the Storm this time. Bobby Eppelman will punt again. Matt Ogletree back to return along with Ronald Peak. So Eppelman will punt on 4th down, gets a nice snap under a rush, gets the punt away. It's a good one, very good punt, and it bobbled, but then picked up by Keefe, it looks like, at the 25, has a run, has a hold to the 30, to the 40, midfield, he's still going, to the 40, to the 30, he's spinning another person around, now he stops and goes down about the 25-yard line. Wow, what a return by Ronald Peak, who reached Pikes Peak almost with a couple of fantastic juke moves. And remember, he dropped the ball.
He turned the corner.
Ronald Peak with the return. He muffed the return, but he was able to make a tremendous amount of moves and get all the way to the Storm 25-yard line. Big special teams play by the Silverbacks, and they have tremendous field position. 1st and 10. Northeast Ohio at the Storm 25-yard line. And keep in mind what happened the last time they were there. They went the wrong way. Counting down to 3:40 and so here in the first half. No score yet. We'll see what Boyer decides to do. 1st and 10 for this upstart Silverback team. A receiver on the right. They're going to go big, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Antoine Miller. And now we have people who jump. Had to happen again. Another flag down. Don't mind me with the Gru impersonation from Despicable Me. It's a neutral zone infraction on the Storm this time. So a 5-yard penalty, and now 1st and 5 for the Silverbacks at the Storm 20. Seems like the 20 closest yards to the end zone have got to be the toughest ones to get. Remember, the Storm defense has 4 sacks, 2 of them by Jaron Elder so far. So in the I formation, 1st and 10, 1st and 5 rather. It's a handoff right side, Antoine Miller, and he's brought down a fumble. There's a fumble, and did the Storm recover? Did the Storm recover? They did! They did! Holy mackerel! Another red zone disaster for the Silverbacks. The handoff was to Antoine Miller, but he lost the ball and into the hands of Carl Kreidler. A Silverback turnover in the red zone. Keep in mind, both defenses have only given up 70-plus points all year. No wonder we got no score right now late in the first half. So a huge break. The Storm get it back. 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. And I'll tell you what, you talk about defensive struggle as advertised. We're seeing it right now. 4 sacks and now a forced fumble on the part of Lehigh Valley Storm. They're really stepping up their defense right now. Here we go again. 1st and 10 as Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun this time. Let's see what he does. He's got 3:02 left in the first half. Remember, both teams have 2 timeouts to play with. LeHue takes a snap, pitch out, and that is Mayers who try and reverse direction, but he's going to take it to the 15. Now a flag at the 17. He loses a yard. The timekeeper is saying there's a clip, and even the Silverbacks are saying the same thing. Sean Mayers on the carry to the 17, and yet another flag down. An illegal hands to the face penalty against the Storm. So this will be backed up half the distance. And they're going to spot the ball at the 10-yard line? Huh. I would have to say it's half the distance. I mean, you're starting the 18, you go back to the 9. With a half the distance penalty, it'll be 1st and it looks like 19 for the Storm from their 9-yard line. So 1st and 19 from the 9-yard line. LeHue the snap. Here's a handoff up the middle. Looks like Mayers again sneaks through a couple tackles, crossing the 15 and down to about the 16. So he's able to get 7 of them back. That was Sean Mayers on the carry again. Gets most of the yardage back. Back to gain of 8. 2nd and 11 from the 18. And another handoff to Mayer. Mayer will try and get outside, and we're about to hit the 2-minute warning right now. Oh, one more. Thank you. That was Sean Mayers again on the carry. Only gets back to the line of scrimmage as we have hit the 2-minute warning. So Sean Mayer is able to get about a yard, not really a yard, he got no gain on the ball. They're going to spot it at the 19. And they're going to have a 3rd and 9 from the 19-yard line when we resume play. Now here you're going to have to play NFL rules here for the final 2 minutes here. A little bit of an unusual situation here as we got a timekeeper for the Silverbacks taking care of business here, as well as, of course, we got Rick Schmidt who's dealing with the statistics in the other room, and we haven't even needed him yet. So as we're nearing so we got 2 minutes left in the first half. Now we play NFL rules here. Okay, as we resume play, it'll be 3rd and 9, the Storm at the 19-yard line. I was actually surprised he was able to get a yard on the play, so let's see how this all plays out. On 3rd and 9, Lehigh in the shotgun, takes a snap, has some time in the pocket, he'll throw it to the left, pass caught by Lister, and he gets out of bounds, 7 o'clock at the 35-yard line. And that pass is caught by Neil Lister. He steps out at 35-yard line, and it's first down for the Storm. A pickup of 16 on the play. Storm will be at the 35, 1st and 10. Okay, Lehigh in the shotgun, takes a snap, and now a flag down as he's going to roll to the right, throws off balance, and the pass almost intercepted. Went right through the hands of Brendan Banks, and that one, unfortunately, he couldn't put a safety deposit on. That pass was incomplete. Brendan Banks was actually in coverage, and also a flag down right at the snap. The officials discuss, and we'll see how this all turns out here. We have an illegal motion penalty against the Storm, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. So 1st and 15, Storm at the 30-yard line. And Lehigh in the shotgun again on 1st and 15. Hand off to Mayers, has a hold the middle. He will bounce to the 35 and get to about the 37-yard line, pick up of 7. So he's gotten the yardage back and 2. That was Sean Mayers with the carry. Picks up 7 to the 37. It'll be 2nd and 8. Storm at the 37. And Lehigh in the shotgun, taking the snap, looking in trouble, throws left, caught by Lister in midfield, and gets clipped out of bounds at the 47 of the Silverbacks. And that's a first down, a 16-yard pickup. Pass caught again by Neil Lister in Silverback territory at the 47. It's first down for the Storm. Again in Silverback territory at the 47. So 1st and 10 for the 47 of Silverbacks. Lehigh a low snap this time. Has time looking. He'll throw deep left side looking for Lister, but even at 13 feet high, he couldn't come down with it. It is incomplete. That pass incomplete, intended for Neil Lister.
Tell them they got to reroute 84. He's leaving the line of scrimmage clean.
We're down to a minute 17 till halftime. Remember, both teams have 2 timeouts left. 2nd and 10, Storm at the Silverback 47. And now Lehigh will be in the shotgun once again. Mayers will stand to the right. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Lehigh will call the play from the shotgun. 2nd and 10. Taking the snap. Back he goes. Has a lot of time. He can have a lunch there if he wants. Throws to the left. And there's an incomplete pass. We got a flag down, as in the area was to Neil Towns. That pass is incomplete to Neil Towns in the vicinity, but there's a flag down as the pass was thrown. We've had a lot of penalties in this game, like we did last week. There were combined 34 penalties between these two squads. I think the Storm had 18 of them in the game against Fayetteville last week. The officials are going to discuss illegal contact against the Silverbacks. It's time to refresh in the downs. First down for the Storm following the penalty. And we also have an injured player. We also have an injured player at the midfield stripe. Now, I'm not sure who it is, and while we have a second, I'll remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is being presented by authority of the Gridiron Developmental Football League in conjunction with the Lehigh Valley Storm, who have the right of approval to the announcers of this game. It's intended solely for the private non-commercial use of the audience. It may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or disseminated in any form without express written consent, including all accounts and descriptions given in today's game. The Storm and the GDFL would like to thank you for your continued support. We're hoping you're enjoying today's podcast, and boy, it's a good one. No score, as we have a minute 9 till halftime. The injured Storm player was Michael Thomas. Looks like he'll be all right as he walks off on his own power. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be charged the timeout here because of the injury under 2 minutes. I don't know if that is a rule in the GDFL. First and 10 for the Storm at the Silverback 42-yard line. We'll see what Lehigh does in the shotgun. Mayer's right behind him. 4 receivers. Now in motion goes Tay Abrams to the left. Low snap. Lehigh will throw, and it's caught by Aguilar Moore, 35. Still rolling down to the 32-yard line. He may move the chains yet again for a 10-yard pickup. That pass is caught by Aguilar Moore. About a yard shy of a first down. 2nd and a yard from the 33. And it'll be Lehigh taking a snap, looking. He'll throw a fade deep, looking for Lister. Just out of the reach, incomplete. Oh my goodness, that was a great throw, but the timing just wasn't there on the near side of the field. That pass incomplete, intended for Neil Lister.
Coach, get some pressure on that quarterback, man.
So 3rd and a yard now for the Storm at the Silverback 33-yard line. And keep in mind, it was the Silverbacks who turned the ball over inside the Storm 20, which caused all this. Here we go on 3rd and a yard. Lehigh with a snap. He's going to throw anyway, and a pass is caught, and escaping a tackle was, looks like Tennille Towns. And he's down to 24, and I think we may have a timeout here. That pass is caught by Tennille Towns. And the ball will be spotted at the 23. It is a first down for the Storm, but first they call timeout. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rick, you're looking at a 1 timeout left, or they charged a timeout for the Thomas injury?
To be honest, I'm not sure with this league. I didn't actually check the
Well, with these games becoming of more monumental importance, you would have to try and get everything right. That's why we always had to double check, because remember, we had Thomas down, but remember it was I don't think it wasn't a change of possession, it was a penalty and a first down, but I would have to say no timeout was charged because with that penalty. So, well, just had to double check on this one. So we're down to 48 seconds till halftime. As we resume play, it is 1st and 10. Storm into Silverback 23-yard line. And we'll see what Jimmy Lehigh does in a shotgun. Takes the snap, stands, looks, fires left side, and it's caught Lister. He's inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. That pass caught again by Neil Lister. And it is 1st and goal for the Storm at the 8-yard line after a 15-yard pickup. Yes. And they spike it. It should be like 35 left, I think. We'll see what the official... On 1st down, Lehigh downs the ball for 2nd and goal. We're checking on the time. Hold up. The official's going to double check the time. But we have 37 seconds left, but... Okay, 29 seconds left till halftime. Keep going. 30... Now! Thank you. Yeah, I think you had to keep the clock running, and that's probably what happened there. That's okay. That's okay.
Got the portable mic just in case.
I did a good job first time ever doing this.
2nd and goal, Storm at the 8-yard line to Silverbacks. And we'll see what happens here as Lehigh in the shotgun takes the snap, rolls right. He's looking, then fires over the head and incomplete. A flag down the end of the play. That pass was thrown incomplete out of the end zone, but there's a flag down on the far sideline. Boy, if that's a late hit out of bounds, it's half the distance and you reset the downs.
Okay, sounds good to me.
A late hit roughing the passer on the Silverbacks.
Oh, Jesus.
Half the distance to the goal, reset the down markers. 1st and goal again for the Storm. And it will be from the Silverback 4-yard line. And that, again, is a killer penalty. I mean, you just can't do that. It would have been 3rd and goal from the 8, and instead it's 1st and goal from the 4. Remember, the Storm have 1 timeout left. LaHue is there. 3rd and goal from the 4. Taking a snap, LaHue. Rolls right. Looking. Throws off balance, and is incomplete. Had to throw across his body, and it looked to be Michael Thomas, who's back in the game, couldn't get it. That pass incomplete, intended for Michael Thomas.
Coach.
It'll be 2nd and goal. Storm at the 4. So 2nd and goal from the 4. LaHue in the shotgun again. Mayers to his left. They can run if they want, but instead LaHue passing. Throws to Mayer. He has room to the 5. He's in! Welcome to the end zone! A Storm score as Sean Mayers puts it in from 4 yards out. So the ice has been broken as the Storm score first with 8 seconds left in the half, and Appleman will try the extra point.
That's right, Storm. The first blood.
First blood right at the very end of the first half. The snap, the kick on its way, the kick is good on the extra point. So with 8 seconds left here in the first half, wow. Storm 7, Silverbacks nothing. I guess it might be time to rock the boat a little bit. So there you go. It was a lateral throw to Sean Mayers, who ends up running it in from 4 yards out. And with 8 seconds left in the first half, the Storm with the 7-0 lead.
Refreshments, apparel, and
Yeah, I'll mention that momentarily. Oh. 10 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we're told 10 seconds till halftime. 10 seconds till halftime. So when they catch it, wait for 2 seconds. All right, well, I'll tell you when. All right, kicking off. Well, we want to make sure we get it right. This is a very important game. Whichever side you're on, we got to do it right. Appleman will kick it off, and it's a low-line drive, and it'll go out of the end zone. I wouldn't touch it. Don't. On to now. And taking it out of the end zone, escaping a couple tackles, and down to about the 3-yard line? Maybe should have knelt down the end zone. That would have been nice. Not sure who tried to return it out of the end zone. Looked like Bud Brown was the one who did it. And another flag down. As we're down to 1 second left in the half. Or is it? And they're going to call on sportsmanlike conduct on the Storm. Well, basically, the equivalent of a touchback. Go down to the 3-yard line, have the defense come in on sportsmanlike conduct penalty, and there you go. You're just 2 yards short. Oh, boy. And Bob Kohler is trying to figure out what on God's earth do I have to do to not get these penalties. I mean, this has been more yellow flag football than anything else. So following the penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And we'll see if the Silverbacks decide to do anything. They do not. Well, they kneel down and the first half has come to an end. And what a good first half.
How much time do you have time?
I'd say 15 minutes. So after one half of play, the Lehigh Valley Storm a 7-0 lead over the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks. Now why don't you go ahead and come to the blue awning where the midfield stripe is. The folks there are selling some refreshments or selling some storm gear. You'll be able to pick some stuff up. So why don't you go ahead, visit the refreshment stand, cool yourself off, as we're going to have a pretty exciting second half coming right up. So hang loose, folks.
Like if you hit yes, sometimes it gives you that.
Well, there you have it, folks. We're at halftime in the count. And this has been a pretty exciting football game so far as I try to start this thing up. Here we go. There we go. Try and get something rolling here. So we're through 30 minutes of play. A defensive struggle, no doubt. But the only score, a 4-yard touchdown run by Sean Mayers. And at the end of the first half, the Lehigh Valley Storm with a 7-0 lead over the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks. I'm going to go ahead and get some dinner myself. We'll come back with the second half of what will be an exciting game indeed. It already is. Trust me, on the defensive side, that's all coming up right after this.